Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Gleason, and welcome as ESPN Classic presents the 1995 SEC Tournament Championship between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Kentucky Wildcats. Entering this game, Kentucky was ranked number 3 in the country by the Associated Press. Arkansas, the defending national champion, was ranked number 5 in the land. Nolan Richardson's 40 minutes of hell game plan was led by the inside muscle of All-American forward Corliss Williamson and the deft outside shooting touch of Scotty Thurman. Kentucky, under Rick Pitino, featured a similar up-tempo style fueled by the well-rounded game of forward Antoine Walker and the sharp shooting of guard Tony Delk. The victor would draw the #1 seed in the Southeast region in the upcoming 1995 NCAA tournament. The loser would be shipped to another region. Later in our broadcast, we'll take an in-depth look at Rick Pitino, the man who resurrected Kentucky hoops. But right now, let's head to the Georgia Dome for the 1995 SEC Championship game. It's the Wildcats and Razorbacks on ESPN Classic.
We're at the Atlanta, Georgia Dome, the Olympic city, where less than 500 days from now will be Olympic basketball, and that may not match the excitement we have today. 29,000 on hand for the dream matchup. It's Kentucky and Arkansas for the SEC title. Sold out Georgia Dome for one of the most anticipated matchups in all of college basketball. The Arkansas Razorbacks against the Wildcats of Kentucky for the Southeastern Conference crowd. Here's how these two teams arrived at this championship matchup. Arkansas had to struggle to get by Vanderbilt and then handed Alabama a setback yesterday. Kentucky, meanwhile, rather handily over Auburn and Florida to reach the championship matchup. The Dome already rocking in Atlanta. Let's check the starting lineups. First for the defending champions of Arkansas and Nolan Richardson. Corey Beck and Clint McDaniel will be his backcourt. Scotty Thurman and Corliss Williamson up front, and a little bit of a change at the center spot. Elmer Martin had started the last 10 games, but Darnell Robinson gets the nod today. For Rick Pitino's Kentucky Wildcats, the starting lineup with Jeff Shepard and Tony Delk in the backcourt, McCarty and Rhodes up front, and Mark Pope at the center spot. Kentucky going for another tournament title. Arkansas has never won the SEC tourney title. On the regular season, though, they tied for the top spot in the West at 12-4. Kentucky took the East at 14-2. It's what everybody in this conference and everybody in the country wanted, and we've got it, and we're underway. Rhodes had it stripped away, picked up underneath, and Andre Riddick draws a foul immediately.
I think it's important that Riddick gets involved in this game early. Now, he hasn't been producing some great numbers. He hasn't been getting the minutes that he got early in the season, but that's a good start for Rick Pitino to get Andre Riddick involved in the flow of this game from the outset.
SEC, one of their premier shot blockers, not one of their premier free throw shooters, but just as I say that, he drops the first one in. Riddick about 49% on the year on his free throws. You can see his field goal percentage much higher, and he buries them both. That away, Andre. So Kentucky with the opening two. And McDaniel outside, buries a three.
Well, both teams come in concerned about the perimeter game that the opponents have. Clint McDaniel, that's a very good start for Nolan Richardson's club.
I love it. You talked to the coaches before the game. They both had about the same thing to say about how to prevent the other team from winning the game. That picks up the foul. But they are similar teams, and they're great shooting teams and high-intensity defense.
Well, you see Corey Beck right here, and that's going to be an interesting matchup all afternoon. Corey Beck really gets in your face, and he triggers that defensive pressure for Arkansas as well as anybody that Nolan Richardson can put on the floor.
And Beck knows the 0-0. Tony Delk had a career high down at Fayetteville at 31. He got it in hand with Thurman on him. McCarty, he has really come on in the last month. Spin move on the baseline, and Donald calls offensive foul.
Well, when you catch it down low today, Brad, you better catch it and react quickly because both teams really run at shooters. Do that right there. You see McDaniel drawing the foul and Robinson coming from behind. There's no time to play with that thing today.
Speaking of the officials, Don Rutledge made that call. John Clockerty, Don Rutledge, and Andre Patillo are officials for this SEC title game.
Well, Kentucky playing outstanding defense all season long, holding opponents to right at 40% from the field. They've really done a nice job out of their zone the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Nice look inside and a great move by Corliss Williamson. And Arkansas by 3 early. Rhodes, guarded by Kermit on the perimeter. Shepard kicks back outside. And a whistle and dealt with a turnover.
The tough combination when you got strength and finesse like Corliss Williamson just showed right there. And he has great concentration inside. You watch him, he'll get the contact, but his head and eyes are always up on the target. Big-time player.
And in big-time games, he seems to play his best. 28, as we mentioned, in the regular season matchup between these two clubs. Feed inside, and Williamson crosses it out to Corey Beck. Beck's not a big outside shooter. Darnell Robinson with a hook on the baseline.
Well, he's got more offense than Elmer Martin. That's why he's in the starting lineup. But he's young. He's been inconsistent. Therefore, you want him to also get involved early.
It took him almost a whole season to get in shape, and he is now. Rhodes try to go for a slam, and Robinson with a foul. And that's too early on Darnell Robinson, and that might bring somebody off the Arkansas bench in a hurry. Rick Pitino, 11-0 in SEC tournament games. He's never lost one. On the other side, the guy that won the whole prize, Nolan Richardson, who has played Rick Pitino in the SEC tournament before, but never in the championship round. Roderick Rhodes averaging about 13 a game.
I think Nolan Richardson and Rick Pitino both understand as well as any coaches in the country, Brad, how to get their teams to the magic level at the right times during the season. You can only pull on those strings so many times when you're dealing with young people, and they both got these teams playing as well as possible heading into the tournament.
Peaking at the right moment. And both of them, I think, look forward to this possibility of this matchup. Robinson doubled, stripped away by Rhodes from behind, and McCarty will come out of there with it. Rhodes fouled by Corliss Williamson.
I think Arkansas is going to have to be very careful of that matchup right there, Corliss Williamson on Rhodes, because Rhodes may be the most versatile offensive player on the floor this afternoon. Has the size to take you inside, and the leading free throw shooter for Kentucky in terms of attempts. That tells you he's very active with the basketball. Tough for Corliss to guard him.
Roderick, 41st Kentucky player to go over the 1,000-point mark. You know, you got a pretty good program when you got 41 or 42 guys that have scored over 1,000. Both Tony Delk and Roderick Rhodes have done so. 6'7" junior out of Jersey City. Got them both that time. 3 for Rhodes. The lead of Arkansas has been cut to a deuce. Beck almost had it taken away, but now the Razorbacks with numbers, and it's Thurman for 3. Almost got it up off the top of the backboard. McCarty and Rhodes will come down 3-on-1 Kentucky. Tie game. A whistle and a foul.
Well, there will be no time to celebrate for either team today after a made field goal. The guards especially have got to be aware to rotate back and get back for defensive balance purposes. You look at Nolan Richardson. I talked to him before the ball game, and he said, you know, our kids have really looked forward to this matchup. We beat them in Fayetteville, but we were all hoping that both of us could play our way into the finals.
Daniel has one rattle out. Clint had hit 26 of his last 31 free throws, so he's been on a tear from the strike. And leads the SEC in steals. The Razorbacks back in front by 1 as we are just over 3 minutes in. Kentucky's first field goal took them 3 minutes to pick up. Roderick Rhodes gets called for kind of a cheap offensive foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's enough contact here to call it. You watch Rhodes. Yeah, there's a bump there. Scotty Thurman, nice job of rotating in.
A bump, but it won't cause a bruise, I don't think.
No, not at all. No.
Hope on Robinson on top. Williamson wheels on McCarty and got his own rebound. Back up and in. So strong down low.
Well, you can't let him make that initial duck move inside and get that post position right in front of the rim.
Jeff Shepard from right here in Atlanta. I asked him if he's got half of Peachtree City here, which is just south of town, and he said, I think so. And he just picked up a second foul, though, on the perimeter trying to play defense.
He has a lot of characteristics of a young man I had the pleasure to coach when I was an assistant at Kentucky, Rex Chapman. He's got that big hop, that big bounce. He can create his own look off the dribble, great elevation on his jump shot.
Chapman was his favorite player, too. He's admitted that several times. McDaniel outside for 3, and Rhodes will pull it off the backside. And now Arkansas comes up with a turnover. Thurman, the triple, got it.
What awareness by Corliss Williamson to know that Scotty Thurman was spotted up in the corner.
Kentucky with back-to-back turnovers as Epps has to fly over row 1. I'm glad Anthony's got that much hop in his game, but we'd had a couple of dead broadcasters over there. Timeout with 15:52 remaining in the first half. And Arkansas, thanks to that steal and a bucket, pushes their lead out to 13-9.
You're watching the 1995 SEC Championship game between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Arkansas Razorbacks here on ESPN Classic.
Back on January 29th in Fayetteville. Look at the numbers. 94-92 was the final, and it was the shot by Scotty Thurman that won it, but sensational shooting. 50% from the field, over 80 from the line, and 46 from outside the arc. Corliss Williamson had maybe his best game of the year. 28-9 and 3 blocks. Scotty Thurman, the game-winning shot, his 5th of his career, and it came on an 18-footer near the end of that ball game. Scotty's already got 1 3 today. And there's the field goal so far early.
Well, you've got great individual talent on this floor. You look at 2 of them right there in Thurman and Williamson. Kentucky's got a slew of them. But you also have individuals that really understand the team concept. And Nolan Richardson and Rick Pitino, they coach it as well as anybody in the country.
To have so many weapons and to be able to utilize all of them is what these 2 teams have been able to accomplish. Corey Beck, there's what he does so well. Thurman outside, got another one. Don't get him hot or you'll be in a whole bunch of trouble.
What a rebound by Corey Beck at the point guard spot. He's the 2nd leading offensive rebounder that the Razorbacks have. Very difficult to match up for Tony Delk.
McCarty in the paint, a little strong, got his own rebound, and got it in. 4 for Waller, and the lead cut back to 5. Backing it down to Williamson. Colt can't stay with him. 6 already for Corliss. He's got the power inside. Thurman's got the 2 threes outside. Again, a 7-point Arkansas lead. Rhodes, offensive foul. Corey Beck held his ground, and Rhodes 2 fouls, both offensive so far.
You know, Thurman and that Corliss Williamson combination inside-outside is so difficult to cover. You got to choose and take one, and look at Corliss Williamson establishes great catching position at the mid-block level. Watch Rhodes. The only play Corey Beck can make is the charge right there. He doesn't have the height to challenge the shot. He's got to hold his ground and hope the whistle goes his way.
Arkansas on an 11-4 run here in the last couple of minutes. Robinson, he doesn't mind it out there. That's why. Hit one of those yesterday to help get the Razorbacks on their run to win their semifinal game to get here. The lead is 10. Antoine Walker has just checked in on a cut. He's coming off a career-high game of 21. So the freshman starting to come on for Kentucky. Thurman with a left hand. Hasn't missed yet.
Well, that's what amazed me last night as I started to prepare for this basketball game in detail was how young this Kentucky team is. One senior in Riddick. The rest of them, boy, this team's just going to get better and better.
It gives everybody else in the conference a headache, that's for sure. Corliss Williamson picks up his second foul.
A concern for Rick Pitino coming in was the physical style of play that Arkansas will throw at you. Walker and McCarty, Pope, those guys inside, they've got to battle against Corliss Williamson and the big bodies of Dwight Stewart, Darnell Robinson. And even the guards for Arkansas, so physical with their hands, very active, bumping and chesting you a lot differently. You've got to adjust to it.
McCarty goes out, and Pope, or rather, Prickett comes in. So you just take out a 6'9" guy, put another 6'9" guy in there. Corliss Williamson will sit with 2 fouls. And that brings Lee Wilson off the Arkansas bench. Mark Pope's been sensational in the SEC tourney as he had a career-high 19 against Auburn in the first-round game. Pope, the transfer from Washington, former Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. A guy that Rick Pitino says works as hard or harder than any player I've ever had. That's kind of a mouthful.
Yeah, that guy's had several. I really like how Pope works and gets himself open inside. He understands how to play the game.
I doubt that Coach Richardson's going to like that three-pointer from Robinson. The first one, maybe. That one rushed a little bit and a little too deep. Epps trying to feed the wing. It's broken up, and that's Clint McDaniel in the open floor.
What I talked about, when one guard for Kentucky penetrates, the other one has got to fly out of there because Arkansas runs the floor. Brad, I tell you, when that shot's taken, they got a designated flyer and they're going at you.
Corey Beck, the inspirational leader, getting the Hog fans on their feet, and they have reason to cheer. It's an 11-point Razorback lead. 13:07 to go in the first half. Turnovers early. Kentucky, they're paying the price for those 7 turnovers, including that Clint McDaniel lay-in a moment ago. Wilson on a lob underneath. That one almost went in. Robinson, not a good pass. And the walk. Yet another turnover. Now Kentucky knows they can't keep doing that and stay in this ball game.
So I think you describe Arkansas's defense at best disruptive. They try to get you making plays you're not accustomed to making. And right now the big guys for Kentucky having to put the ball on the floor a little more than they would like.
McDaniel's going to get a breather, and Alex Dillard will take his spot in the backcourt. Dwight Stewart has checked in also for Arkansas. And on the Kentucky side, McCarty back off the bench and Chris Harrison in for the first time. So some changes from both sides. Underneath, all alone is Wilson. He missed a slam. Credit Harrison for getting back just to rattle him a little bit from down low. Walker, he's going to take it in himself.
That's not a typical freshman play right there. I mean, he hesitated on the perimeter, read the defense, and then took it till the defense stopped him. Unfortunately, it wasn't until the front of the rim.
Corey Beck, a great lead for Lee Wilson. Still an 11-point Arkansas lead at 27-16. Prickett trying to leave it for McCarty. Another Kentucky turnover. Here comes Corey Beck. All alone. Rick Pitino, no timeout called, waiting for a TV break. You know he's frustrated. His team's down 13.
They just can't get any kind of rhythm, any kind of natural flow on the offensive end. Last time Prickett had a 6-foot shot and passed it up.
Walker misses the tray, and Beck runs down the rebound. Ahead to Dillard. And back on top. Stewart for three. And Walker will hold it for Kentucky. Epps, Harrison, McCarty, Prickett, and Walker on the floor for the Wildcats. And that's a much different looking lineup. Harrison sparked him yesterday with a couple quick threes when he came off the bench. Another Kentucky turnover as Prickett lost the handle. Rick Pitino's Wildcats have turned it over 10 times in 9 minutes of play. 11:03 left first half. A little frustration for the Kentucky coach.
Rick Pitino arrived in Lexington, Kentucky in 1989 to take over a probation-riddled Wildcats program. Featuring a three-point attack, Pitino's squad went 14-14 his first year. His fast-paced brand of basketball attracted high school All-Americans, and by the mid-90s, Pitino had a powerhouse on his hands, as ESPN's Larry Beal chronicles in this 1997 Sports Center piece.
The Kentucky Hoops program, steeped in tradition, going back to the days of the legendary Adolph Rupp, was in disarray, on NCAA probation, and in desperate need of a savior. Perfect fit for Pitino.
This is the most difficult challenge I've had because it's void of athleticism and talent. We don't have very much size. We don't have very much speed. We're going to have to make up all those weaknesses with a great deal of heart.
Pitino gave the Wildcats a heart transplant. In his first season in Lexington, the Cats went only 14-14, but they led the nation in three-point shooting. Over the next 5 seasons, the Wildcats averaged 27 victories, and they were again fixtures at the NCAA tournament. Kentucky basketball was back, and Pitino was a star.
And the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats, Rick Pitino!
There was only one task left undone for the consummate hoops handyman, a national championship. Easier said than done. Christian Laettner's buzzer beater in '92 denied the Cats a spot in the Final Four. Pressure was mounting to win it all, which Kentucky finally did in 1996.
After the '97 season, Pitino departed Lexington to revive the Boston Celtics. Later in our telecasts, we'll take a look at the man on the other sideline, Arkansas coach Nolan Richardson. Right now, let's return to Kentucky and Arkansas in the 1995 SEC title game on ESPN Classic.
It's Kentucky down 13 to Arkansas with 11 minutes to go first half. Of course, everybody trying to get a #1 seed, Jimmy. You look at what has happened so far. UCLA's set, but everything else might be a crapshoot right now.
Yeah, I'm not so sure with Kansas losing that you got now Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina, Arkansas. North Carolina, I think, is going to take care of business and be in the East. But then those other 3 teams right there, Kansas, Kentucky, Arkansas, I really think they're going to fight for those last 2 number one seeds going in.
With Kansas having lost, Rick Pitino has said, as we said at the top of the show, he thinks Kentucky's a #1 regardless of what happens here today. Well, I think he's hoping that everybody's buying that theory, because right now it's the Razorbacks 29-16, and I know they're thinking #1 seed without a doubt. Survivor of this one's got one, no matter how you slice it. McDaniel open for 3, nailed it. The 3-pointers are dropping for Arkansas, and Kentucky is going to have to hustle to get back in this thing. Down 16 points. Nice feed inside, but Pope's double teamed, and he loses a handle again. Remember the SEC final a couple of years ago in Lexington when it was all Kentucky in the semifinals against Arkansas, just routing them, and Arkansas came back, stormed back, and made a game of it. Kentucky might have to have that kind of rally today to make this a game. Held ball, possession arrow still stays with Arkansas.
Well, Kentucky's very capable. When you talk about a well-balanced attack, you got 2 guys averaging in double figures, but then the rest of them are 9, 7, 8, 7, 7. Rick Pitino, they can score points in a hurry, but their defense has got to be solidified right now.
Still Arkansas out of bounds. Just past the midway point first half. 9:59 to go from the Georgia Dome in a game that has been all Razorbacks so far. Yesterday, Kentucky had kind of a slow start against Florida, too. Their shots weren't dropping, and all of a sudden, they hit a streak where everything went in. They're going to need that kind of comeback here. And they get a start with a rebound from Rhodes.
Well, they got their guy in the game right now, Chris Harrison, down there in the corner, spotted up, that has big shot ability.
Wilson fouls Pope down low. That'll be Lee Wilson's first foul. Points off turnovers, unbelievable for Arkansas.
Arkansas very efficient, not only in getting turnovers. You see the strong move inside, gets Pope to the free throw strike, but Arkansas forces turnovers, but they're very efficient in converting those into points.
And you can see, as Jimmy's talking about, 22 off the turnovers, 22 points to just 2 for Kentucky.
Very important today for both clubs, Brad, to convert on the second free throw, allows that press to get set up.
And that won't happen. Pope missed him. Davor Rimac, who just checked in. He's an excellent three-point shooter, too. But I don't know who isn't on the Arkansas team, even the big guys. Here's Rimac. There's the three.
Good call.
Wow, 35-16. Shepard and Harrison have a 2-on-1. Harrison will pull up and use the glass. His first basket.
And Harrison is really a three-point specialist. The guy, I think most of his three-point shots, only about 6 or 7 field goal attempts this year, have not been from the three. You've got to shade him. I saw a kid yesterday at Texas, Brandy Perryman, who hit a huge shot for Tom Pender's club. Same way, you've got to shade and making sure you know where those guys are at all times.
Elmer Martin threw him an air ball that will turn into the Kentucky possession. That last shot by Harrison was the first Kentucky points in over 3 minutes. And you can't go dry stretches against the defending national champs and expect to stay in the game. And Arkansas tore it already from outside the arc, 6 of 11. And when they came into this game, they had 290 three-pointers, just 11 shy of their school record they set last year. Well, they're more than halfway past that 11. They might end up with a school record just in this one alone. Harrison, he'll take a three. He's an excellent shooter, ran down his own miss. Rod Rhodes on a baseline. Roderick, first field goal. Cuts it down to 15 for Arkansas. Stewart spinning on Riddick. Riddick rejected it and took a couple photographers out.
Watch Harrison create a look off the dribble right here for his teammate Rhodes. Takes it in and pulls up, avoids the charge. That's much better offense right now out of Kentucky. Not a good shot at all by Dwight Stewart.
Andre, the rejector, they call him. I almost called him the projector, I think, when he got out there in camera row. Took a couple of guys with him. Robinson, Thurman, Beck, McDaniel, and Williamson back in there now. That's the starting group for the Razorbacks. Williamson wants it. Yeah. And he has it rejected. Back-to-back blocks by Andre Riddick. Came in with 36. He's got a couple just on these possessions alone.
Corliss establishes himself on the block in great position, but watch Riddick does a good job of staying down. Now watch his timing. Boom, right up there at the top. That's how you block shots.
They're going to need a lot more of that because Kentucky on the short end by 15 with exactly 8 minutes left in the first half.
You're watching the 1995 SEC Championship game between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Arkansas Razorbacks here on ESPN Classic.
Arkansas is led by as many as 19 right now, up 15 at the 8-minute mark.
I want you to watch Andre Riddick. When Corliss Williamson catches the ball, he stays down in good defensive position. From that position, he can jump. He doesn't get straight-legged, doesn't lock his legs. That allows him to be an excellent shot blocker. Look at that right there, all-time shot block. Kentucky quickly moving up that list.
Some pretty good company. Thurman off the inbounds. Buries a three around a pick. Scotty Thurman. Oh, they're going to say inside the three-point line. Thought one official gave it the 3 sign. They'll give him 2. Shepard. Riddick trying to tip it in. Arkansas by 17. On the shot clock. Beck found a little bit of a crease and handed it to Williamson. Wave it off. A push by Riddick down on the baseline before that shot by Williamson.
You're watching the 1995 SEC Championship game between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Arkansas Razorbacks here on ESPN Classic.
Step it up, defense, step it up.
Riddick's going to kick it back out to Shepard. He'll take the jumper.
Well, great offense by Shepard. The ball fake froze the defense, just allowed him enough to step in off of one dribble, knock down the 15-foot shot.
Tony Delk still on the Kentucky bench. He has been held scoreless, and Scotty Thurman is just lighting it up. 10 for Thurman. Every time Kentucky gets a basket, they try to get a little bit of momentum back. Arkansas's got an answer. Shepard flies up and looks like a little bit of Rex Chapman there. He's got 6. And McDaniel flies into the computer section. I guess that's hard drive or something. I don't know. Kentucky trying to pick up the intensity on defense, see if they can get a stop or force a turnover. Arkansas has not turned it over much today, that's for sure. There's one. Rick Pitino thought Arkansas should have been charged with a turnover on that last series, and it brought a reaction.
Well, this is March Madness, and he's got the mad part down. Fierce competitor now. Kentucky has solidified things, I think, on the defensive end. They've got to get their offense on track. Shepard right now, he's creating his own look, but nothing off of their structure. Arkansas is very active.
There's Delk around a pick. There's a little bit of structure. There's Tony Delk's first bucket.
That's what they need more of right there, creating looks for each other.
Corliss Williamson, he walked with it. Back-to-back Arkansas turnovers, and Kentucky knowing they've got to crawl before they walk and walk before they run, trying to inch back in this thing.
Watch Corliss, he catches it right now. His left foot's his pivot foot, and he picked it up before he put it on the floor. Proper call.
I think if it wouldn't have been a traveling violation, it would have been maybe a foul on him for that hook. It was a nice move to get away with it, but now with the official standing right in front of you. Here comes Walker on the run. Rhodes, 3. And Riddick tried to keep it alive, but Epps couldn't handle it. Darnell Robinson, open floor. And Riddick made sure that he's going to have to earn them from the free throw line. Problem is, that's going to be 3 fouls on Riddick.
Great hustle play by Riddick, but a mistake made by the young Darnell Robinson. When you're taking it in the open floor in transition, you got to get there in a hurry and take it up strong with 2 hands. He tried to finesse it at the end, allowed Riddick to get involved in the play.
And Darnell is not going to throw you with his free throw shooting usually.
Unless you like adventures, because that's what it is when he steps to the stripe.
Well, like Andre Riddick before him, we kind of make sport of his free throw shooting, and he quiets us. He's had a pretty good start. 6 points for the sophomore out of Oakland, California. And made the start today as well. Normally not a starter. Kept alive by Thurman off the miss, but then picked up by Epps. Epps trying to feed Rhodes. Good look down low. Now it's down to a dozen. Getting a little bit closer. The lead was once Arkansas by 19, and now it goes back the other way again. We're going to foul down low on Arkansas.
Both teams really understand how to utilize their big guys in transition. They run them right down the middle of the floor and force the defense to choose a side to guard you, and that is very tough to combat.
Foul was on Scotty Thurman. Talking with John Clockerty about it, saying, John, really, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. Watch next time a little closer. Meanwhile, Roderick Rhodes will step to the free throw line with an opportunity to make this a 10-point game.
You got a great crew today that they understand the importance of letting players voice their opinion from time to time, as long as they don't step out of line. They communicate well. Very good job of preventive officiating. I think these guys do. Clougherty, Rutledge, and Botello as good as anybody in the country.
And both coaches, and Rick Pitino in particular, said, I hope the officials just let us play because it'll be that much more fun for the 29,000 in the place. So far they have. Rhodes, 8 points, 4 of 5 from the free throw line for Roderick.
Look at the Arkansas-Kentucky players on the screen right there, and I had the privilege to play at Arkansas, coach at Arkansas, also coach at Kentucky. And you talk about special places for basketball in this country. These two programs got it going on. They care for the sport, tremendous fan support, and they play with such a pride for the entire state. Every night out, I don't think anybody else in the country has that. Even along Tobacco Road, they got to split it up. But not at Arkansas, Kentucky. It's a one-man show.
You've got a better feel for these two programs than anybody in the building. We got a lot of people in here. Kentucky on an 8-1 run over the last minute and a half. And all of a sudden, 40-30. The makings of another one of the classics. We might get to the 90-point mark. Nice fade, Darnell Robinson. Spins and buries it on the baseline. Beck, chest to chest with Epps right in front of us. Walker, great baseline drive. Woo. 6 for the freshman out of Chicago.
You talk about a rise, a reach, and a ram with quickness.
That was pretty. Here's Alex Dillard, and don't give him an inch, because he'll take a 30-footer on you.
And usually it's give somebody an inch, they take a foot. You're right, you give him an inch, the 30-footer.
Down low, double team, Dwight Stewart up and down. Jump ball, possession arrow to Kentucky.
What a nice shot by Robinson. That's excellent defense by Pope, making him take a fadeaway jump shot. Watch Walker rise. That Arkansas defense just doesn't rotate over quick enough. If you don't rotate over as soon as he makes his move, it's too late. Once he puts it on the floor, he's in front of the rim.
Kentucky can get it to a single-digit lead for Arkansas if they score this trip. Epps up in the air, found Walker on the baseline. He had trouble finding the handle, though, and he was already in midair and missed it in close. Beck gives a look and missed a layup. Good-looking play, but he didn't finish it. The last time Kentucky was within single digits, it was 18-11. Dwight Stewart with a push. And now Prickett will give the Wildcats a chance to get it down to 8.
Not a smart foul at all by Stewart, because Prickett, if there is a guy on the floor that is no threat at all for a three-point shot, it's him. He's not going to beat you off the dribble from 30 feet away.
Number 32,
back off and play containment defense at that point.
Especially when Dwight's giving away quite a bit of quickness. There's the numbers last season as compared to this season. Jared Prickett. His first point of the day. He's had some big games against Arkansas, though. He had a 20-point rebound game in a regular season game against the Razorbacks. Trying to get it down to an 8-point margin, and does. Well, once it was 19, the lead has been sliced to 8, 42-34 Razorbacks.
In 1994, Nolan Richardson was the toast of the college basketball world. Among the Hogs' biggest fans was then U.S. President Bill Clinton, the former governor of Arkansas, who attended 3 NCAA tournament games during Arkansas's 1994 run. Bob Lee profiles Richardson in this vintage 1994 SportsCenter feature.
Perception, remember, is the key to anything.
Hours before the biggest game of his life, Nolan Richardson has stirred debate with his views on media perceptions of black coaches and athletes.
Now, you know who the most intelligent team is, don't you? It certainly ain't these guys. At least that's what they perceive.
The issue resonates as Richardson's Hogs prepare to meet Duke for the national championship. Duke, a private school with high academic standards, a fixture in the Final Four.
Arkansas is the best team we'll have played. And
and they're smart.
Richardson was a leading spokesperson several months ago when the Black Coaches Association considered action over their concerns on scholarships and opportunity. Richardson touched on the media's role.
You see, I'm addressing every issue. The sad part of it, every time I see a kid, he's a Prop 48. And I'm sitting there on TV and look at my wife and say, what the hell does that mean, that he's dumb?
Basically, what people are hearing and seeing is some of Nolan Richardson's honesty and one of his personalities. And I think there's a lot that can be learned from what he said, and I just hope that people really listen to what he's saying.
Nolan Richardson grew up in the 40s and 50s in West Texas in the time of segregation. 10 years after the first African-American coach won the NCAA championship, Richardson looks to move past milestones to frank talk on opportunity and images.
By winning the 1994 NCAA title over Duke, Nolan Richardson became the first man to win a junior college national championship, an NIT title, and an NCAA championship. Ahead in our show, we'll examine Rick Pitino's return to the college coaching ranks in 2001. Right now, let's return to Arkansas and Kentucky on ESPN Classic.
Arkansas 42-34 with 3:38 left first half. Once a 19-point Arkansas lead has dwindled down to 8. And in the tournament so far, you look at Kentucky, they're getting some great productivity off the bench, and Pope and Walker especially, Jimmy.
Yeah, 50% of their points in this tournament so far have been from guys checking in from the Pine, and you love that from a coaching standpoint. Guys that check in and they're ready to go to work. You don't have time in a game like this, as up-tempo as it is, to get in the flow and allow all those kind of things to come to you. You got to step in and produce. And Rick Pitino's got some guys that do it in a vengeance.
There's two of them, Pope and Walker right there. Walker's got 6 off the bench. Pope a couple of some big rebounds. And this freshman, he's just starting to feel it now, I think. And made in the mold, and maybe has some of the same qualities as a Jamal Mashburn, according to Rick Pitino. And if he fills that bill over the next 3 years for Kentucky, I think they'll be happy.
They're just watching him. He reminds me also of another guy named Walker that played at Kentucky.
Kenny.
About 6'8", athletic, could really cover, explode to the basket. Probably got a little bit better offense than Kenny Walker.
Robinson has had a good game so far. That hook doesn't go, but Beck again on the baseline with a rebound, and Thurman nails a 3. How many times are we going to see that today? Beck rebound, kick it to Thurman, let Scotty bury a triple.
Well, Rick Pitino just hollered out, you can't leave him. If there's one guy on the floor that you cannot allow to be set, it's Scotty Thurman.
Walker, great catch down low. Jump ball, possession arrow will go to Arkansas.
Hey guys, come on out, wipe the floor. Hey, come on, wipe the floor.
Scotty Thurman has been the Arkansas offense so far. 6 of 7 from the field, 3 of 4 3-pointers. He had 22 in the regular season game between these two clubs, and was 4 out of 5 from 3-point range in that one.
You've got to really crowd Scotty Thurman. I mean, here's another statistic that backs that up. He only goes to the free throw stripe about 2 times a game. That tells you from a coaching standpoint, he's not a driver and a finisher. He puts it on the floor. It's 1, maybe 2 bounces at the most, just to create a better jump shot opportunity.
And so pitches his 10 on the outside and waits for the ball to come to him. Now, Robinson had numbers, but maybe wisely slows up and waits for his troops to help him with 2:25 left in the half. 45-36. Remont's on a runner. Didn't get the roll. Walker the rebound. Walker's been big for Kentucky off the Cats bench. Pope, plenty of time to look at it. Got it! Here comes Kentucky. They're only down 6.
He hit a big 3 yesterday, and you just got to guard Pope. You think he's a center. He's not going to stroke it. He's shooting 40%, 47% on the year from out there.
That's their first 3-pointer of the day. You talk about nice timing. Under 2 minutes in the half. Thurman trying to work for his shot. Walker, nice defense. Remonts, and he nails a 3. Talk about great shooters on both sides.
Lots of bullets in the guns for these two clubs.
Foul, Delk and McDaniel got tangled up. John Clocker's going to call it on Clint McDaniel. Tony Delk has been quiet. One field goal.
Arkansas foul on number 12, Clint McDaniel, his first personal 9th team foul.
And while Tony is a great shooter from the outside, he doesn't always take that to the free throw line. McCarty will come back in, and Polk will sit down. He'll get a big round of applause from the Wildcat faithful.
Tony Delk will go to the line for Kentucky, shooting 1-1.
Always coaching, always teaching is Pitino, who already had a couple of words for Polk before he got to the bench. And Delk did miss the free throw. Can't afford to give up any free ones in this game. McDaniel. His three rattles out. Darnell Robinson fouled by Prickett down low. He would have had one in close. Prickett did well to strip the ball.
Kentucky foul number 32, Derek Prickett.
Deb Kaufman coming up at halftime with first half stats and highlights on Sports Smash. And halftime is just a minute and 5 away. Alex Diller will check in. Scotty Thurman comes out. Eight points, 3 rebounds, 50% from the free throw line for Darnell Robinson, who came in overweight at the beginning of the season. Apparently heard an NBA scout say, yeah, we like you around 270, and Nolan Richardson said, I like you around 255. He didn't play a lot until he got down to that.
Much more important for your current head coach to like you more than
That's
your
right.
future head coach, because you may not have a future head coach if you don't please the current head coach.
You got it. He's had a big first half, though. Double figures in points, 3 rebounds. He'll get a breather as White Stewart will take his spot. And he gets a pat on the backside from the head hog. 1:05 left, an 11-point Arkansas lead. Almost threw it away. Epps got around a double team, wide opens Prickett.
Great job by Prickett to run right in front of the basket. He knew the guard would find him there. Nice job at avoiding the double team at the half court also.
Jimmy, I think psychologically it'd be huge if Kentucky could go to the locker room in the single-digit deficit instead of being down 11 or 12. Right now it's 9.
Yeah, because I tell you what, the butter was really starting to slip off the biscuit early for Kentucky, and they fought their way back into this thing.
Turnover as Epps comes up with a steal. Just what the Kentucky doctor ordered. And now they can play for the last one if they so choose. They take 7. Down 7 at halftime. 6 if they hit a 3. Let's see what kind of shot they get. Delk trying to work free on the baseline, but McDaniel is right on it. Epps under 6. Gotta hurry. He got the shot, got the basket, and a chance for a 3-point play. Oh, boy. Talk about big. His first bucket of the day couldn't be much bigger for Rick Pitino.
What great penetration now, the sophomore, against an outstanding defensive player in Beck. Watch him get to the paint, and then has the hang time and the ability to not rush his release. Boy, so many times I see guards make a quick move and then rush the shot at the end. Watch him. He penetrates with quickness and then hesitates and gets his shot to drop. That's huge.
Is it ever? And he caps a 3-point play. Epps. And now Beck on a runner. And Kentucky couldn't ask for more. They trailed by 19 points, 35-16. And Rick Pitino says that's more like it, because they've cut it to a half dozen at intermission. Halftime, the defending national champions leading the defending SEC tournament titleists.
You're watching the 1995 SEC championship game between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Arkansas Razorbacks here on ESPN Classic.
Arkansas by 8 over Kentucky with 11:39 left in the ballgame. Or we should say maybe left in regulation as we take a look at our stat smash. Arkansas 10 3-pointers in 18 attempts. Scotty Thurman 15, but he's cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, he's missed his last 3 from out there on the perimeter. Look at that Kentucky bench, boy, 28 points.
Antoine Walker with a dozen of that 28. Brad Nessler, Jimmy Dykes with you at the Georgia Dome, the SEC championship game between the two best teams in the SEC and two of the 4 or 5 best teams in the country. Depends on who you listen to. Their fans will probably tell you they're both #1. Riddick. Air ball on a hook, and Beck comes out of the pile with it. Foul down low. They're going to call it on Riddick, who collided with Corliss Williamson. Riddick's upset. That's going to be his 4th.
Corliss Williamson really does a great job of posting wide and low. He's not a tall target. He's a big spread out target like a big Sunday dinner. It's very difficult to get around him.
That was a butt roast right there. That's what that was for dinner. Riddick went down, and that's 4. He'll have to sit. Stewart off the inbound, and again, Prickett has to appreciate his outside shooting and get out there on it.
And Dwight Stewart is the best passer and best screener that Nolan Richardson can put on the floor up top. Freed up jump shooters off of Stewart's screens. Real key for Arkansas in their offense. There's one right there.
Fremont. Williamson off the backside. And now it's Pope with a huge rebound. Shepard's going to push it. Shepard's going to take it. Wave it off, though. Offensive foul.
I'm not sure you can take a charge standing underneath the basket. Let's look where Stewart is. Yeah, he's there. He's in good position.
Good call. Good call. Andre Patillo with the call. Shepard, tremendous lift, but that's the way you do it. Jeff's got to sit. He's got 4. So it remains an 8-point Arkansas lead as we approach the midway point of the second half. Williamson trying to hook it back out to Stewart. He'll take the long jumper. Prickett ahead to Pope. Pope, can he beat Stewart to the hole? Yes.
Beck and McDaniel both went to the offensive glass, and no one was back for defensive balance.
66-60. Here come the Kentucky fans to life again. Corliss Williamson just muscled one up.
And a great pass from Remox to improve his passing angle off of one dribble inside. Something small, but very, very important.
Corliss with a dozen for the game and has gone over. Here comes Beck with a steal off Prickett. Corey Beck does the little things that end up being big. Get it out of Prickett's hand, get it to one of the guards. I think Jared would agree with that.
Yeah, he wanted that more than anybody. You're right.
It's back up to double figures. Hawks by 10 over the Cats. Epps trying to kick it back outside. Dwight Stewart with a steal. Corliss Williamson. And now the Razorbacks start to smell it, but still a long way to go. 9 minutes and 6 seconds left in the ball game. Corliss Williamson on the break has put the Razorbacks back in front by 12.
In the spring of 2001, Rick Pitino returned to the Bluegrass State to coach the University of Louisville. A surreal move that UK loyalists consider the college hoops equivalent of Super Mario jumping from Nintendo to PlayStation. Solomon Wilcox profiles Pitino's second dramatic entrance into the state of Kentucky in his 2001 SportsCenter piece.
On Wednesday, Rick Pitino returned to the Bluegrass State as both hero and villain. By becoming only the 4th basketball coach in the last 57 years at Louisville, Pitino has managed to carve out a promising future for the Cardinals while driving a dagger in the heart of the Kentucky faithful.
I realized for one game a year, they're going to root against us. And I'm going to root for them every other game. And my true friends, the ones that really appreciate the job that was done for 8 years, will root for me every other game. So that's all I can concern myself with, is my family's happiness and the happiness to finish out your coaching career in the place you love.
After days of soul-searching, Pitino was close to accepting a job offer from Michigan until he consulted with his wife, Joanne, and received calls from former Kentucky players.
Richie Farmer from Eastern Kentucky called me up and said, "Coach, I'd be disappointed in you if you didn't take the job. We want you back here. We love you. Take the job." And all my players were calling me, and that was exciting for me.
Talking about things that swayed you, I understand you were very close to taking the job at the University of Michigan, but your wife, Joanne, stepped in. What was said in the conversation you had with her?
She just said, "Look at your heart and stop being afraid." And I have an expression, and she said it to me. She said, "You remember your expression throughout," and I've used this maybe once every 5 years throughout my life, that a good friend of mine used, and said, "I'd rather live one day as a lion than 1,000 as a lamb." He said, don't be afraid to go back to the place you love.
Pitino joins a Louisville program that won 2 national titles during the 30-year tenure of Hall of Fame coach Denny Crum. Later in our telecast, we'll look at some future NBA players from this SEC championship game. But first, let's return to the action. It's Kentucky and Arkansas from 1995 on ESPN Classic.
Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes at the Georgia Dome, where Arkansas leads Kentucky 74-65, 7:12 left.
You know, we talked about both teams being a little bit tired right now. Kentucky's still on the bench. Arkansas already out ready to play, but Corliss Williamson is the one guy that he doesn't get affected by an up and down pace. He has such strength and such stamina. He's got 16 points, 10 in the second half. Also got 6 out of the last 8 Arkansas points. Both teams with the same philosophy. Run as hard as you can, both directions, as long as you can run. I'll get someone in for you.
There's the muscle man and his numbers. Shepard, McCarty, Pope, Walker, and Delk on the floor for Rick Pitino. And Kentucky needs to put a run together. We're down to the final 7 minutes. Almost threw it away. And did. McDaniel with a steal. And the layup, he missed it. Break for Kentucky, without a doubt. Pope backs up from 15. Williamson the rebound. His 6th. Kentucky content to slow things a little bit with a lead. Use some clock, get it down near the 6-minute mark. Robinson, the one-hander won't go, and McCarty will clear it off.
I know Robinson rushes his shot at times inside. He's got a big enough body to take control. Look at that, that guy taking control.
Wow, sweet reverse layup for Tony Delk. Backing it into Williamson. I thought he was in too deep. Maybe he was. He missed the shot and Delk the board.
Kentucky calls timeout.
Delk takes a timeout.
52 seconds remaining to play. Arkansas 74, Kentucky
I don't think Rick
67.
Pitino necessarily wanted that timeout taken, but Delk was in a little bit of trouble on the baseline and couldn't find help.
Ladies and gentlemen, SEC basketball tournament.
Clint McDaniel does the right thing. He takes it right to the rim, but he gets himself right in front of the rim. Therefore, he tries to finger roll it over the top. I like using that angle. If I got a wide open layup, use the angle, use the backboard. Watch Delk right here just create his own offense.
There's some backboard usage right there.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Kentucky with 1 timeout left. Arkansas has 2. Nobody's got any 20-seconders left. We're down to 5:52 in the ball game. 74-67. Number 5 leading number 3 in the country. And boy, they have been tearing this place up. The fans, 30,057 today. There's more red, white, and blue in this building today than a 4th of July parade in Washington, D.C.
You're watching the 1995 SEC Championship game between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Arkansas Razorbacks here on ESPN Classic.
And yet to come, a flurry of 5:51 left here at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. 74-67, defending national champs lead the defending tournament champs. McCarty, good look down low to Walker, and he drew a foul.
That's a tough matchup for Scotty Thurman inside. Walker has the height and the jumping ability to get his shot off over Thurman when he catches it. The only way Thurman can stop Walker down low is to deny him the basketball, because once he catches it, you have to foul him to stop him.
So Antoine Walker, who had a big first half, has 12 points on the game. Go with 4 rebounds. Illinois' Mr. Basketball last year, and now shining off the bench for Kentucky. He only had 3 points in the regular season game between these two clubs. Didn't play much today. He's been huge.
That's the luxury of having depth like Rick Pitino. You can allow young guys to develop over the course of the time and don't throw them right into the action, but he's got a good one in Walker.
We were talking about the runs coming in 3-minute increments, Jimmy.
And now Kentucky's on one, 9-2.
McDaniel almost lost the handle. 5-point game again with 5:15 to go. 10 on the shot clock. Kentucky would like to come up with a defensive stop. Thurman working for his shot against Walker. Had to rush one and almost knocked it in off the glass. Comes free. Reggie Garrett, who's just checked in for the first time with the rebound. Fresh clock and under 5 to go.
Well, those kind of plays from a coaching standpoint, you force them into an off-balance shot to allow them to get the rebound.
That's not the shot they wanted either from Darnell Robinson. A rebound by Walker. He's in trouble, and he hooks it out to Shepard. Shepard and McCarty 2-on-1. McCarty had it stripped on the way up by McDaniel. Kentucky ball. Rick Pitino just threw the Armani into row 3.
Well, Kentucky has not done a great job of executing transition basketball today. You see right here, they don't finish. They're running themselves out of shooting position. I think they run to the baseline a little bit too deep.
Here it goes.
Rick Pitino handing it to my main man, Bill Kite.
Billy made the catch.
Talk about a guy that understands Kentucky basketball as well as anybody. Mr. Bill Kiley, the Kentucky equipment manager.
He's only been there about a half a century, right?
Oh, man, that guy loves the game. He's terrific.
Delk, three-pointer. It's huge if it goes. McCarty, did he push trying to get the rebound? No, they're going to call the push on Arkansas. I believe Dwight Stewart down low.
There he is right there. You talk about a guy that lives and breathes for Kentucky basketball. He has seen it all from the days of Joe B. Hall to Eddie Sutton, now Rick Pitino, and there's not anyone in the state of Kentucky that doesn't have a lot of respect and a lot of love for that gentleman on the sideline.
I've never seen him not wearing blue and white.
He doesn't own anything other than blue and white. I've been with him, I know.
Arkansas scoreless the last 3 minutes, and Kentucky trying to put a championship run together. Nice feed to McCarty. What a look from Delk.
Kentucky has had a lot of success today off of the dribble, breaking that Arkansas defense down. They got away from it. Now they're getting back to it. Look right there, Delk creating a look inside for McCarty. He can finish when he catches it there.
4 minutes left in regulation. It's a 3-point game. Beck's in trouble. Got it to McDaniel. Now it's a 3-on-2. Thurman off the glass. Got it.
Excellent job by Thurman by not running himself into the baseline. Therefore, when he caught it, he still had the angle to use the glass. That is tough to teach.
McCarty, sweet-looking spin, but he didn't get it, and Stewart clears it off. Here come the Razorbacks. McDaniel wisely pulls it out.
I think both teams have caught their second breath.
They have. They might need one more. We might not be done at the end of regulation. You never know. 3:25 to play. 5-point Arkansas lead. Walker broke it up. Beck fouled it.
Watch right here. Watch where Scotty Thurman catches the ball right there at the block. I see a lot of players will go ahead and continue to run themselves all the way down to the baseline. You've got no angle. Experienced players know how to score, and Scotty Thurman understands that end of the game very, very well.
Kentucky back to the free throw line with a 15 of 20 on the day.
That was also his first bucket of the second half for Scotty Thurman. That's got to improve if you're a Razorback fan.
There you see the free throw story as Kentucky has made more than Arkansas has attempted. And Walker, this kid who had over 2,000 points at Mount Carmel and Chicago, what a day to pick to have one of your all-time great games. He came off a career-high 21 yesterday, and today he's got 16. trying to draw a foul, didn't. Walker with a little hand check does pick up the person.
That happened right in front of Rick Pitino's bench. He went on the charging call. Corey Beck has such tremendous strength in his upper and lower body for a guard standpoint. Very difficult to bump him and get him off of balance.
He's never going to have a lot of points for you, Corey Beck I'm talking about, but 5 assists to go with his 4 points. He comes up with huge offensive rebounds, it seems, when he's down with the tall timber.
You talk about Thurman, you talk about Corliss Williamson, but Nolan Richardson and the guys on those sidelines, they understand that this is the guy right here. We don't win without Corey Beck.
458 career assists for the 6'2 senior out of Fairleigh High School in Memphis.
Visiting with Nolan Richardson about 3 weeks ago, he said, Jimmy, he said, the key for our team, I've got to get my guards hungry defensively one more time. One more time, I got to have them go out and shut people down.
Right now, it's Arkansas by 5 with 3:13 to play.
You're watching the 1995 SEC Championship game between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Arkansas Razorbacks here on ESPN Classic.
78-73, Arkansas with 3:13 left. Are they playing for a #1 seed? You bet. UCLA is going to get one. Kansas, after losing to Iowa State, I think that's real shaky. And whoever wins this one should get one. Carolina thinks they've got one whether they win the ACC final against Wake Forest or not. And UConn still maybe in the hunt. They're beating Nova right now by 9 in the Big East Championship.
See, that's why I'm not so sure that Arkansas or Kentucky, either one, could slide over into that other regional, maybe pick up that #1 seed. I mean, Kansas is very, very good. I think they got all the components you look for in a Final Four team. An outstanding point guard. If I had to pick a point guard to start a team, Corey Beck is excellent. But Jock Vaughn, he can get it done, I think, better than anybody on the college level on a consistent basis. He really triggers that Roy Williams club.
You and I, between us, have probably done 70 games this year. We've probably seen 200 more, and this is the one I've been waiting for all year. And we get asked, I know you do, is who's going to make the Final Four? I get asked that all the time. The only 2 teams I ever mention consistently we have on the same floor here today. I think they both got a nice chance of getting there. Shepard just dribbled it out of bounds. That won't help Kentucky's cause.
Now, this may not be the last time these 2 teams meet this year. You got a great point.
And now the Wildcats in desperate need of a defensive stop because the Razorbacks have a 5-point cushion with 3 minutes left.
Thurman has really been quieter the second half, only 2 points. I credit the job that Walker's done on him defensively at 6'7". He's really shut down that perimeter game of Thurman.
Williamson back it in, kicks it back out to McDaniel. Stewart way out for the 3. He's a good 3-point shooter, but he was about 24 feet away. I don't know if that's the shot you want in that instance.
Guys out of his range.
Walker on the run. Tips it in himself. Down to 3.
That guy understands shoot and go fetch very, very well now. You got to get a body on him. Quick jumper.
Thurman, he squares for a triple. Missed it. He was red hot in the first half. He's cooled off. Tony Delk on the run. Leaves it for McCarty. He's got a chance to tie it up. Williamson fouled him.
I think we might see the depth of Kentucky starting to take over because you look only 1 defensive player back. You got some tired guys right now on the floor for Arkansas, and Corliss doesn't make the hard enough foul to stop the 3-point try right here. That Kentucky bench, they come in with a lot of quickness, a lot of numbers. Boy, great finish, great concentration by McCarty.
4th foul on Williamson. Waller McCarty, 10 points on the game. For the first time since it was 7-7, we're tied. With 2 minutes left. This is what we expected, and we got it.
Now you got to expect Corliss Williamson to at least touch it in this possession somewhere on the floor.
He had it in hand and got it back out to Beck. Let's see if they pack it back into him. There's the spin pass. Williamson wheels on Pope. He got it! Chance for a three-point play.
That's a pretty simple call right there. You got a guy that could arguably be the player of the year.
Kentucky foul on number 41, Mark Pope, his second personal, team 9.
Look at Corliss Williamson catch it. Now watch. He doesn't get himself in a big hurry. And that's the strength and the finesse that you don't find in many guys at 6'7". That is a very unique combination. He was actually underneath the basket, Brad, and leaned back in and got the shot off.
For those of you just joining us, it's 80-78 Arkansas. Corliss Williamson had a chance for a three-point play there and didn't connect. It's a two-point ball game with 90 seconds left in regulation in a game that Arkansas in the first half led by 19. They led by 6 at halftime, by as many as a dozen this half, but the Wildcats won't quit. McCarty, three. Pope trying to tip it in. Dwight Stewart, a huge rebound. Two-point ball game, and we have 1 minute left from the Georgia Dome with 30,000 plus looking on.
1 minute remaining.
Championships are won by teams that can go out and for 1 or 2 possessions get a stop. Now both of them are going to have the opportunity to do it. Arkansas, they're 1-0 right now. That was a big defensive series for them.
Just as you said that, I saw Jeff Shepard, the look on his face, and he made 2 clenched fists in front of Scotty Thurman as if to say, we got to come up with one. 3 on the shot clock. McDaniel's got to hustle one. Kentucky got their stop. Time runs out on the shot clock.
There it is.
Good call, Jimmy.
That's what you got to do. You've got to have guys that will shed their ego for about 35 seconds and say, I'm going to lay my big Valentine out on the line and stop somebody.
Only a second and a half difference between shot clock and game clock. In essence, Kentucky can play for the win or overtime right here. Shepard, he's going to go straight up with it. Pope, and he's fouled from behind by McDaniel. So Pope's going to step to the free throw line, where today he struggled, but on the year he's been excellent.
Well, great hands by Pope to get that one right hand on it, and then just get it, the action going back up towards the basket. Watch Shepard off the penetration. Attracts a lot of attention there. Allows Pope to come inside. The guards for Arkansas didn't rotate inside quick enough on Pope to keep him off the boards.
Mark Pope off the bench today with 7 rebounds to go with his 8 points. 77% on the season, but only 1 for 4 today. Nailed it when it became big, though. This one would tie it at 80. Sometimes you cannot bear to look, even when it's your teammate at the line. Or if you're just one of the many Kentucky fans, it's hard to peek through as well. Hope for the tie. Here's your game with 20 seconds left.
This is national championship stuff right here now. It does not get any better than this at any level.
The defending national champs, tied with the defending SEC tournament champs. The MVP of the Final Four just threw it away. Walker calls timeout. It's Kentucky's final timeout with 5.5 left. Tied at 80. Walker came up with a huge loose ball. Corliss Williamson had it packed down low and tried to kick it back outside, and the pass was stray. And now Kentucky can win it.
I don't know if somebody got a hand on the pass from Williamson off the block, but if not, you cannot float your passes against a quick, swarming defense like Kentucky. Let's watch. Nice job of getting him the ball. They isolated. Now watch on the entry pass. Yeah, doubled down and got his hand on, allowed Walker to come in.
How big has Antoine Walker been? 20 points, the steal, the heads-up play to get the timeout. And will it be the 4th annual Pitino Invitational? He's won the last 3. He's never lost an SEC tournament game. Kentucky on a 20-8 run the last 9 minutes.
I'm not in that Kentucky huddle right now, but I tell you this, my first option, if I'm Rick Pitino, is get the ball in the hands of a driver. Shepard, Delp, those guys that can create and take it to the basket because they've had a lot of success. At worst, they might get to the free throw strike. I don't think you live and die by the jump shot.
And
And on the other side, you know, Nolan Richardson is saying we got to somehow deny a decent shot, get this thing into OT, and then we'll worry about it.
Well, you tell them that. First of all, guys, you've got to go out and shut your man down. And then when the shot's taken, all 5 guys go get it.
Kentucky going for a four-peat as SEC tournament champions. Arkansas still looking for their first tournament title. 80-80 with 5.5 left in regulation. The ball belongs to Kentucky. So would the win if they score. Roderick Rhodes, he might be the man. Whistle. Foul inside. Foul on McDaniel. And Roderick Rhodes with the biggest free throws of his season upcoming.
Well, that's just what I talked about. There's a guy that really got it done in the first half, in particular off of the dribble at 6'7" and can put it on the floor with great efficiency. He can get you to the free throw stripe.
Roderick is 5 of 6 from the stripe today.
Well, several guys collapsed on him right there.
All his points came in the first half. Roderick Rhodes, the 6'7" junior, has maybe got a chance to win it for Kentucky, but Arkansas is going to make him think about it. They take a timeout. 1.3 left.
That's a great call by Rick Pitino.
$30,057 in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Number 1 seed on the line. Roderick Rhodes about to go to the line. .3 seconds to play. Kentucky has battled back from at one point being down by 19 in the first half. They trailed by 12 at one point in the second half. And now they're 1.3 seconds away from pulling a stunning come-from-behind win for Rick Pitino, trying to win his 4th straight Southeastern Conference tournament title. And here's the man that can do it. 78% of the season, 5 of 6 on the day.
And he's been there more than any Kentucky Wildcat all season long. Came in with 129 attempts.
Anthony Epps is not the only guy in the building praying. First one came off. If he misses this one, we'll do no worse than overtime unless Kentucky can get an offensive rebound. And if Arkansas gets the board, they've got 1.3 seconds to launch one. Kentucky had hit 14 straight before that miss from the line. Rhodes, maybe for the win. He missed the second. Williamson, overtime. I told you we had all we expected, and then 5 more. We're going to OT in Atlanta. Roderick Rhodes will never forget those free throws. They won't matter if Kentucky wins in overtime, but if they don't, that might have been their shot at the national champs. Trying to pray one in, but it didn't go.
For more information on our Classic games, trivia, upcoming specials, and the ESPN Classic program schedule, go to ESPN.com. Keyword Classic. This SEC game was chock full of players who would eventually shake David Stern's hand as first-round NBA draft picks. Arkansas power forward Corliss Williamson was the number 13 pick in 1995 by the Sacramento Kings. In 1996, Kentucky forward Antoine Walker was the 6th selection by the Boston Celtics. Tony Delk went number 16 overall to the Charlotte Hornets. Walter McCarty was the number 19 pick by the New York Knicks. And Roderick Rhodes, who transferred to USC, was a first-round selection of the Houston Rockets in 1997. Now let's return to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta and the 1995 SEC title game between Arkansas and Kentucky on ESPN Classic.
5 more left in a thrilling SEC championship final. 80-80 as we go to overtime, and Riddick and Williamson will get it underway. Try it again. John Clockerty says I threw it too high.
Rick Pitino lost the coat about 10 minutes ago. He's never lost an SEC tournament game. And his club with a chance to draw first blood here in the extra stanza. Walker's been huge today. Dwight Stewart runs down the miss. Kentucky's only 2 of 15 on their three-pointers today. Williamson doubled. See if Beck goes back into it. There it is. Doubled again and fouled. And that might send somebody to the bench if it's Riddick. Nope. The foul will be on McCarty.
Watch Corliss Williamson. He attracts the double team, but very important to note, the double team is not coming from Dwight Stewart's man. He's positioning himself at the high post area, but they cannot leave Dwight Stewart. Therefore, he's not in the offense. We talk about some concerned looks and people thinking about what if.
And a guy on the right of your screen there that had 2 free throws that maybe could have won it and missed them both. Corliss Williamson doesn't miss his. 19.7 boards. Got a feel for Roderick. He's 78% free throw shooter. You got to figure he's going to get at least one of those. But maybe this game was destined to last longer than regulation. 20 points for Corliss Williamson. Just another day at the office for Corliss, even though he started kind of slow. 20 with 7 boards. Delp from downtown. Rebound Beck. 3-on-2. Beck does it himself.
That's huge defensively. Somebody's got to get back and stop the dribble penetration. No one did, and Beck split the defenders.
Delp, three-pointer. That one's way off, too. Three-pointers just won't go for Kentucky.
Watch Corey Beck. You're taught as a point guard. Push it, push it, push it until someone stops you. Nobody does. Take it to the rim and finish. You did it well.
Kentucky, a team with 243 three-pointers on the season. They had 17 in one game against South Carolina, and today they just can't buy it from outside the arc here in Atlanta.
Yeah, and they're very effective from the outside. They shoot almost 40% as a team, so it's just one of those afternoons. Credit Arkansas's quickness on the perimeter defense, though. It's had something to do with it.
Huge three-pointer by McDaniel. 7-point lead. 7 straight in OT for Arkansas.
The shot selection for Kentucky the last 2 possessions has been questionable at best. Delp, I think, has forced a couple.
Thought about one there, and now drives for one off the glass.
It's a better look.
That snaps the run by the Razorbacks. 87-82. 2:40 left in overtime. Big fella handling on the way up. Maybe no team in the country that's got better big men as far as ball handling than these 2 teams.
Yeah, I tell you what, that really helps you out because those point guards, they don't get worn down over the course of a 40-minute basketball game. Not a lot of clubs have that luxury.
MVP of the whole thing last year, 22 today. Delp, jumper baseline, rattles out. Stewart has had some big rebounds. There's another. 2 minutes to play. 89-82 Arkansas. The first half it was 50-44, and we looked like we were on a 90-something pace, and now we're back on it again as we're in overtime. Beck uses some clock. 5 on the shot clock as he scoops one. Count it. Chance for a three-point play now for Walker. Arkansas had a 9-point lead after this Beck double pump.
Corey Beck just dribbles through everyone and gets his own look, and it's his strength that he has. You watch Kentucky answers, though. Very aggressive basketball team, and the look right there tells you that Kentucky bench got our hands full.
Timeout Arkansas with 1:32 left. And a 7-point Razorback lead.
You're watching the 1995 SEC Championship game between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Arkansas Razorbacks here on ESPN Classic.
Corliss Williamson's day is done. He can only watch now and hope that his teammates can pull it out. Meanwhile, Antoine Walker has been certainly nothing like a freshman today. Walker trying to add his 21st point, caps his three-point play. 6-point ball game with 1.5 minutes left. Kentucky got the turnover.
I was going to say, they've kind of played around with that press now the last 2 or 3 possessions, trying to force it into big guys. And that Kentucky defense is relentless now. They are not going to let up on you.
Kentucky trailed by as many as 9 here in overtime. They can cut it to 4 if they score on this possession. Walker really wants it against Thurman. Now it's Delk. He has struggled from the three-point line today. Walker, tough catch, adjusts in midair, Pope with a tip-in. It is down to 4, and McDaniel is fouled by Shepard, and Shepard's gone.
Kentucky foul number 15, Jeff Shepard. That's his 5th personal foul.
Watch Walker catches the ball in great position to shoot. Creates his own look there at the end, then Pope comes in again. Anytime that ball goes to the block, if you're a perimeter defender, you've got to make a beeline for the front of that rim and get your body in front of someone.
Shepard becomes the second player to foul out. Leaves with 6 points all in the first half. He fouled out of the regular season game between these two teams as well. He gave up the quick foul there to send Arkansas to the free throw line with 1:11 left to go. Clint McDaniel, 16 points on the day. 1 for 2 from the free throw line, but he's hit 27 of his last 32 free throws, so he's not a bad guy to send to the stripe if you're an Arkansas fan. But it rattled out on him. There's the 2 players that have fouled out. And Roderick Rhodes, who hasn't, but missed free throws at the end that would have prevented this extra 5 minutes. And McDaniel missed them both. So Roderick is not alone in missed free throws in crucial situations. We're down to a minute. This has been the man today. Only a freshman, but Walker missed it. And Robinson the rebound. Thurman with the outlet. Jimmy and I almost had a souvenir.
Kentucky is still forcing a little bit on the offensive end. That time Walker took a very difficult shot. Tony Delk took 3 or 4. At this point in the game, you still got to allow that offense to get you and create you some good looks. You can't force it too quick.
4-point ball game, 53.5 seconds left. And Delk with a foul. Again to send McDaniel to the line.
Foul on 00-20 Delk. His first personal
Rick Pitino's club, they come in 24-4, and on those 4 losses, been by a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. 10 points, a 1-point loss, 2 2-point losses, and a 5-point loss. So they have been right there every game.
And the people they've lost to have been no slouches either.
Clint McDaniel to the line for Arkansas, 2 shots.
I tell you what, that Kentucky and Arkansas, both those jobs now, in my opinion, for the head coach, they're the best job in the country and the worst job in the country all on the same day, because you have all the resources, everything you want to win a national championship.
But it's expected of you.
The pressure, the expectations, very tough to live with.
Clint missed his last 2, but he drained those 2. 6-point ball game. And now Kentucky might have to start thinking about threes, and they haven't been falling here in Atlanta. Here comes one. There goes one. Foul on Pope. Kentucky wasting no time sending the Razorbacks to the free throw line.
Yeah, what a great job by Kentucky to free up Delk. They ran a little back screen for him from the weak side, allowed him to float to the wing. Look right there. That's a back screen being set for him. They throw over the top. He gets his feet squared and nothing but the bottom. Didn't just happen. That was a called play.
Corey Beck now the man of the moment at the free throw line, where he's 2 for 2 today. Doesn't matter what you are at the free throw line at this stage, things get a little bit tighter, and you know there's tremendous amount of fatigue out there, and that can make you short sometimes from the line. And Beck was. Nolan Richardson thinking, am I going to see another SEC tournament title go by the boards? But his team still leads by 3. Beck missed them both. Can you believe it?
I go for the first good shot I get. If it's a 3 or something off the dribble.
There it is underneath. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Walker cut it to 1, and now a steal by Kentucky. And McDaniel fouls X. And McDaniel's gone.
Brother. I just talked about Arkansas falling asleep on their press offense. Watch the basket go, and then Arkansas steps out of bounds quickly and throws it right into the coffin corner. You got to keep that thing out of there. Great job by Kentucky in the press.
Corliss Williamson looking on. The worm's eye view. The bird's eye view looks pretty good, or at least better than it did a little while ago. Arkansas 93, Kentucky 92. The regular season score, Arkansas 94, Kentucky 92. Epps will step up to the free throw line. 83% free throw shooter with ball in hand. For the tie. Got it.
Nobody wants it more than that guy right there, do they?
You know it. Kentucky hasn't led in this game since it was 2-0. Now they do. Arkansas can play for the one shot that would win it for them. Here's your ball game in overtime. 94-93 Kentucky. Scotty Thurman's got 5 game-winning shots in his career, 1 against the Wildcats earlier this year. For 3. Short. Kentucky's going to survive, it looks like. And already they're storming the court, but there's .6 left on the clock. Backing cameras, fans, and players away. The foul was on Corey Beck. It's probably academic. The winner in the regular season game scored 94. Kentucky has 94.
We talked about making defensive stops and winning championships. Kentucky that time forced Arkansas into a shot that was probably a little bit out of Scotty Thurman's range. I noticed Nolan Richardson told Thurman after the shot, hey, you had a chance to maybe take him off the dribble, try to get to the free throw stripe.
The 95th point and maybe the 95 SEC tournament championship just went through from Tony Delk. And Roderick Rhodes is going to be the first one to lay a hug on 0-0 if he hits this one. It came out, but Arkansas can't get a shot away. Kentucky wins the SEC tournament title and a #1 seed to the big show.
They lock that thing up, and Arkansas now will fall to a 2 seed, but do not be surprised to see those 2 teams meet again.
Thanks to a pair of comebacks, Kentucky beat Arkansas 85-83 in overtime. The Wildcats actually trailed by 19 in regulation and by 9 at one point in OT. The come-from-behind victory gave Kentucky its 4th straight SEC tournament title. Despite this loss, the Razorbacks rallied in the NCAA tournament and nearly won a 2nd straight national championship. Arkansas reached the 1995 NCAA title game, but lost 89-78 to UCLA. We certainly hope you enjoy the 1995 SEC Championship featuring Kentucky and Arkansas. I'm Mike Gleason. Thanks for watching ESPN Classic.